Thank you very much, Time for Mindy Manjong. Can we give him a hand of applause, please? This has been another great presentation on his part. And I think there are a lot of questions already waiting there. But before we get to the questions, answer sessions, I see everyone is bubbling with questions and we can receive. What is your take on this? Edison has been listening, watching this from the start up to this point. What is your take in 2 minutes, Edison?
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I think so far, so good. We have learned quite much, starting from the historical background, which has, extrapolated our knowledge far beyond the Mbum people came from Tikari that we grew up to know. We had to cross even the continent. We have also, gathered how our community, the Mbum community, has been politically influenced. That notwithstanding, I think the way forward, as for Minty Manjong has, elaborately expatiated on. We are taking advantage of the information era to redynamize, our society, our Mbum community, to pull out the benefit, the highest number of benefits out of it, faced with other communities in the same political arena, that is the state. So I think that if we start looking at ourselves from a socio-cultural point of view, whereby our youth and our funds can valorize our traditions more, to see how much benefit we can pull from as a people, the economic perspective, of course, which will be left to both scholars and businessmen, and then the political perspective. That for me, Dr. Ngenge Williams made mention of the fact that we don't have ministers. And that is true. Why can't we have a prime minister as well? So these are some of the things that if we want to redynamize our political arena, we should be able to know that we have vibrant Mbum sons and daughters who can also confront, other, persons on the political arena. But how do we regroup ourselves to be able to maximize on this Abiyungir, politically Abiyungir, economically Abiyungir, socio-culturally Abiyungir, which I think so far so good. We are expanding our knowledge on that. Thanks to initiatives like this, we could, in general, I think has much to do to pick the brains, the fine brains that we have around the world, bring them together on the same table so that we can see how to maximize on our strengths and minimize our weaknesses, which we know and some which we don't yet know, to make the best for our future Mbum generations. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Now the floor to Yaje and Nelson for the question answer session. Over to you guys.
All right, it's time for questions and answers. I was encouraging everyone to leave questions in the chat.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm sorry, I on the way. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Maybe I'll just leave the excuses and go on to the question. Our question.
Excuse me, point of correction. I think Mrs. Yaja, who's the coordinator, had the floor. Let her finish what you're saying. Then, right. if she gives you the right, she accepts you, then you can come in so that at least there's some organization, some kind of order.
Yeah, thank you so much, Doctor. Yeah, you can go ahead and then concomitantly with that. Yes, go ahead, please.
No, it's okay. I was just going to hand it right over to you to answer. To ask the questions. And if you have more questions, leave them in the chats, and then Brother Nelson will read the questions from there. So you have the floor. It's okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Yaji. Thank you. I think that the first question which we have here comes from Tanfomi Ike. Tanfomi Ike would want to know, just one moment, let me get the questions. Tanfomi Ike says, the question goes to Tanfomi Ndimanjong. Viewing the perceived or real conflicts between our clans, the past, what would become of, of a conflict or difficulty if we strengthen the clan further? For our unity and development causes, how do you envisage that if we strengthen each clan even further? What do you think would become of these clans? Time for Mindy Manjong.
Thank you very much for the question. Well, I think in my presentation, I did say that it will be counterproductive for us now to say, oh, whatever the clan organizations that we have, we dismantle them so that we only work with one organization, which is Wikuda. I've said, yeah, we can maintain them. But in the discourse, we have said that those clan organizations should be functioning in a way that they are augmenting the effort of, say, Wikuda, which transcends clans in terms of us in advancing our development and self-preservation goals. So, how to strengthen that? Well, I don't have a prescription other than that they can strengthen their clan organization with the view of augmenting the effort of Wikuda in pulling us together and having us move forward as a people in terms of our development and our self-preservation. Yeah, but if they are strengthening themselves to be in conflict with other clans, then that becomes a problem, because tomorrow we'll spend a lot of time trying to mediate the resulting conflict instead of working on our development and self-preservation aspirations. But if they orientate the strengthening of that for the purpose of advancing the effort of Wikuda to bring us together so that we can work together to advance together, development-wise and self-preservation-wise. Pretty.
Okay. Okay. All right. Could I take the next question?
Yes.
Yeah, the next question goes to, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tam, for me in the Manjong. The next question goes to Tam for me, Ngenge Williams. And it comes from George Tanko. And George would like to know why you made mention of Ndu as a person in all of your discourse, whereas when he was growing up, he was told that Ndu was actually the name that was coined from Ndung. How true is this? Was Ndu actually a person, or it was actually coined from Bandung, and which was poorly written by the white man. I think I've explained a little more, but I think Tamfomin Genge will have something to say about this. Tamfomin Genge.
Unmute. Hello.
Tamfomin Genge.
Yeah.
On mute.
Okay.
Yes. Good.
Okay. Am I on?
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
Okay.
You have 2
Okay.
minutes, Tamfomin Genge. Just 2 minutes, since we have to take the next questions. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, I got wind of that. I've heard of that Ndu was a misspelling of Ndung. Well, and there are no proofs of that, but I got proofs that Ndu was Ndu, okay, and that we came from Kimindu, and that is how he called his name. Eventually, the Islamists who were well informed, even at the time when Ndu migrated and told them that they were Kimindu, they were even in a better position to inform the colonialists whom they were dealing with. So I don't understand the misspelling. Where did they get the name Ndung from? What's the meaning of Ndung? Do they have any other alternative meaning to that?
Yeah. If that is a question, then we will probably be looking into exactly how to.
That's it. So, so it's important for us to know that there are strong roots. I understand that Ndung was derived from Bandung, which is Mbembe land.
Keep calling me when I know that. When he knows that I'm on this now. Oh.
Okay. So I think I'll end there waiting. I would have liked to go further, but let us just leave it at that. Yeah. Thank you.
Is William done? Sorry.
Yes. Yes.
Is William done?
Yes, yes.
Did
you get it? Like you were talking and you were not following up. Did you get my response?
Yeah, we got your response.
Yeah, I think we got your response.
Thank you so much.
I think we have some hands up. We should let some people speak. Dr. Nguang has his hand up. So maybe we give him time to ask a question or make a comment.
Yeah, I think I have a problem with my.
I'm having a problem with mine. Do you hear me?
Yeah, 515. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. The first thing I want to do is to commend you guys, actually to thank you very much. Thank you. I think this is the first time I'm joining you in this forum, and I've really, really appreciated this. Something we've always wanted to have, and for you guys to have come up with this is very praiseworthy, and I really thank you, and I hope we'll take this seriously and implement the decisions we come up with, and also to learn the whole concept of our togetherness. There are other issues that were raised, which I think I would like to go back with Ndimajong to. I think it was for the sake of brevity that I think he omitted the function of the Honabunji from Tabiken and the Andose factor Ntui and the Mfumte factor, because we went to the Yamba factor, so we cannot talk about the Yamba or cannot talk about the Mbum people without mentioning the Mfumte factor. I think that's something I would like to go into. It's not a question here. I think it's an omission, especially Dinji factor, Dinji from Tabiken and her Tamfu succeeding. It's also fortunate that most of this I lived it. I took place in the plebiscite of the 1961. Although I was pretty young at that time in Binka, I took place in that, and I've lived this history. Most of what we are talking about, and the concept of collaboration and the clans and everything else. I know some questions have been raised about in terms of whether to stop the clans or not to. I mean, it's just like saying, should we stop being Mbum people or Cameroonians and just be people of the world? I think we're placed where we were, and it is not where we were that matters, but how we use where we were that matters. How we use this class to propagate our own progress that matters. Because going back to even the single party to the multi-party, I participated in all of this. Some of you who know me actively participated in some of that. There are 2 currents or 3 currents that are running, and I hope we can overcome this. That will be great. The party current is there. The clan politics is there. The education politics is there. And I think at the level of education, we did pretty well in the 70s and the 60s, and even in the 80s at the University of Yaoundé, somehow to join together to promote the Mbum person, irrespective of the clan. We did that. And with Simon and Genge, who's now in Bamenda, I don't know whether he's retired or not. We did a lot. The Mbum boy was the Mbum boy. I think the main case I had in Yaoundé, that was in the early 80s, was a person who had nothing to do with me as a town person. And people asked why. I said, so long as it's Mbum and I hear him talk Mbum, I'll fight for his own, that identity. The idea at that time was to promote our own fellows. But when it moved to the arena of politics, it was a totally different kind of system. And this is something, if you guys want, I could get into and make a presentation to see exactly where we're going. And that factor actually spills over to the whole concept of whether we've had ministers or not. And then you ask the question, how do people get ministers? Is it because of those who represent them, like the politicians up there who are in the National Assembly, those who sit at the throne there with the president and they talk and eat, who present the list, as in the days of Sakwa when he just said, look, I am not from Kambe. All I need is for you to give me the names of the people to appoint. I don't know Kambe people. If you don't give me the list, how do I appoint? Who is there and how does that person relate with us who are down here, who are not up there? That disconnect between that, the people who represent us and those who are qualified to be there is responsible for that lack, that basic lack of those appointments that we're talking about. I say so because I was part of the group that created that, that confronted our politicians in Yaoundé, and they said, okay, give us a list, give us a list. It wasn't a list of town people or Mbum people. We confronted all the parliamentarians from Donga Mountain. They asked for a list. And we sat down and came up with a list of people from different walks of life, different ministries, and different everything. So, okay, this is our strength. How can you use this group? And nothing came out of that. And when we investigated, the whole question was that of support. We do not belong to the same political party. Let's not forget, and let's not cover that the political affiliations had a lot. Even from the days of KNDP and CPNC up till today, that has been a determining factor of even part of our progress in Donga Mountain. And until we actually go back to address this and to say any representation or representative from Kambe represents all of us, and we support that person in terms of agendas and programs, Cameroon being what it is, we will all be sitting and talking the same and playing the same cards and playing the same game every day. This is an honest truth that our support, where we throw our support sometimes, in terms of politics, matters in terms of what we want. And this is something I would like us to look at very carefully, and sometimes do a little bit of research to see what we can do and to see how what we're talking about here can filter over to people back home, because we are here in a different community. I know some of you on the forum there are back home. How do we get this to the people to know that we are fighting for the same thing? It's not a town thing, it's not a weird thing, it's not a what thing, it's not a CBDM thing, it's not an SDF thing, it's not a Southern Cameroon thing, it's not a Cameroon thing or a Republic thing. It's a Mbum thing. Until we put this forward, all our main ideas we're putting here, we will come back next year and discuss them again. And I thank you so much. I'm so impressed. Thank you so much for what you have come up with, and we will support you. Those of us who are a little elderly now, and we'll find a way to support you. Thank you. Go ahead and keep on doing this. And we will talk more probably about the marriages that you also raised, which is a very important thing. Thank you very much. I just thought I should throw this in more as a comment and as an appreciation, and as a challenge to also look back and see that how or where we went wrong, or how we assumed certain things hypothetically, but in reality, the undercurrent was totally different. Two currents, political current and cultural current and developmental current. These are 2 things or 3 things we need to reconsider as we try to put forward the agenda for our development. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm sorry that
you still have to speak?
No, I'm done. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I got disconnected. But I'm back. So I must have lost maybe a bit of the doctor's intervention. The next question we have here comes, well, I am not sure we'll treat it as a question, but I think we have that data we'll share here.
Not get you.
Yeah, your volume is low.
Your volume is very low.
Yeah, I don't know what might have happened. I received a call in the midst of this. Yeah, okay. Is it better?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it any better?
It's still low, but
still low.
Is it a question that Yaje can handle, since probably her volume is a little...
Yaje, handle the question.
Yes, please. Yaje, can you move ahead with the question? And maybe there are some other persons who would like to... Yeah, Yaje, please go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay, just a second. I need to find the question, since I thought...
I was on the 3rd question. Eugene Sawe's question.
All right, but if Brother Eugene is there, he can ask his question up front. I don't think that we need to some other formalities, right? So, Brother Eugene, your question, please.
Let me fix this here.
It's not really a question. I was just wondering if we have an annotated map of Mbum land that can help some of us to understand where all these places are located, particularly the plane that for me, Manjom was talking about. I got excited about that because here in Maastricht, there's a place where 3 European countries come together in the same manner, and it's a huge touristic attraction. So we've got it, and we need to harness it and make good use of it. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Coordinator.
Yeah, so yeah, we are several of us, but Mr. Uncle Ngala, I think he has the floor. Yes, Uncle Ngala, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm very sorry that I wasn't able to come in on time. I've been off and on. Right now I'm on 2 conferences, but I'm with you now. So I just have I'm not going to be coherent at all. I just have a few things from the beginning, from the time I got in, and then from up to the Eugene's observation. Anyway, I'll start from Eugene. I think I sent a map to you, the coordinator, about the Mbum area there or something like that. But from when I heard of the story, well, first of all, I like Dr. Ngwan, I would like to really thank you for organizing this, because I have learned a lot about the Mbum people and the Tikari people, and I see all kinds of... Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, 505.
Yeah, okay. So it's very laudable, and it is very interesting and very informative, and it is a real teaching moment for some of us.
And I think personally I've learned a lot. Starting from the Njeb thing, I'm going to say right away that, well, first of all, I'll ask a question. How many of us come from the different Njebs, the three here on the forum? Are there any? I don't know. Me, I come from Jeb Town, I'm from Binka, so.
Yeah. Everyone comes from one of the Njebs in any case.
Yeah, you think we represent the three Njebs? That's what I want to know. That's because I don't know. Are there people from the three Njebs here? People from Jeb Town, Jeb War, and Jeb War? We are. If we do, okay, then I move ahead.
We're all represented.
Okay, that's good. That's very good. That's the sign of unity and understanding. I would like to say right away that the Njeb thing should be looked at as a historical fact to be recognized and be applied to enhance development. But right today, as Dr. Ngwa observed, I think we are using it, people are using it to frustrate development or for some kind of personal or greedy reasons, and they are misusing it because there are problems. There are problems because of Njeb. When the people don't say it, they don't want to make it official. I know that Mr. Ndimanjong was trying to say that, okay, it's there, this and that, but it's there and it's having an effect on development in our area, whether we like it or not. It's a kind of birambu that is going on, and it's really going on right now. I don't want to cite examples because I have no proof, but I know what is going on. But if we look at it historically, we see that when our people were coming, as the history, as it was observed or presented, there were one people until those three sons and so on. But this thing has been reinforced today for greedy reasons. And I think we can do away with that. We just say Mbum without even saying in Jebwad or whatever Mbum. Everything is from Mbum, and we can use it for development to say whatever we are doing. How does it go to develop to enhance development in our area? Instead of develop this clan or this clan, because right now they say, okay, minister is from this clan, minister is not from this clan, minister should come from this clan, head of Wikuda is from this clan, head of Wikuda is not from this clan, and all that and so forth. But it doesn't help. It doesn't really help. The other thing I observed was that, okay, the Ndu thing, I don't know. I don't really know because the Ndu, me also, I heard that Ndu was a derivative of Ndung, which was misspelled by the white man. I heard that. But I know that in Mbum, there's a word called, I think, there's a Mbum term called Ndu. I don't know whether that Ndu has anything to do with Ndu. I don't know, but I don't have any, I don't see any names in Mbum land as Ndu this, Ndu that. It's only the Ndu that we have today that I know of. And I heard something about Ngotong. Then I'm very proud of that because me, I come from Binkan. My place is called Ngotong, so maybe we are the people. The two-headed animal is. Sorry. I'm very serious. I'm very serious here.
It's okay.
The two-headed animal, I found it very interesting because when the first time I went to Fumban, I saw the sign of Fumban is a two-headed serpent.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's a connection between us and them. And the other thing, the other controversy I want to just throw in is somebody should tell me what is the relationship between the Ndu Palace and the Weya people? What clan do they come from? I don't know. I just threw in that question. Okay. Somebody may answer it. And I'm very happy to know that the clans the clan thing is not geography, but people. So we have this clan in Ndu land, and that clan, the clans are all over. So it means that our people were really very cooperative, helping brothers, so that they accept these brothers to live amongst them in different areas of Mbum land. That's what we are supposed to copy and do today. accept ourselves as Mbum people, so that these clans that are found in Jeptang, in Jebwar, in Jeptang, all that, those villages, that shows that our people were really brothers and they wanted to cooperate. But today we have become greedy, and because of lack of resources and so on, we're trying to divide everything. I also heard something about Mbare, and then I'm also proud about it because I come from Binka and there's a place they call Mbare. So there's something to that. The other thing is, okay. I have to come to our daughter who presented, who did a presentation, and I think there was the coordinator asked Yaje to tell us how to promote her. Personally, I think that we could, because anyway, post COVID, if we have to organize, we could have cultural meetings and so on in different places in the West. We should be able to invite this lady so as to promote her, so that the world will see who we are. As she was singing, this is who we are. The other thing I want to say is, this is just the last thing. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I think I'm done, but I just want to conclude that we can use the clan when we want to do anything. We ask the question: how does it promote the Mbum man or the Mbum tribe? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any reaction to Uncle Ngala's preoccupations? He's asked a couple of questions and threw out a lot of things. So is there anyone who would like to react to that, maybe in 2 minutes?
Yes, can I talk?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah, I think he has genuine concerns, because when we have a debate like this, the thematic focus should be the fact that it should draw us closer and to help us achieve better. He made reference of the double or two-headed snake in Fumban, and the two-headed animal that the Jinga or the Wajiri family came up and assisted the Mbum people who were still in Tangbok to kill. Probably we do not have too much, it doesn't have a lot of resemblance, or there is nothing identical to. But I just wanted to point out that actually we are uncles to Fumban, and they know. If you go to Fumban and ask the meaning of Ngu, they will tell you, we Mbum are the Ngus. Ngu means kingdom. Go and find out. And when they say come Ngu, there means that they are the notables or the advisors to the kingdom. On the other hand, another person asked a question which probably can also help us to valorize ourselves, to help us understand that we are so one. That what is the most essential element that helps unite and gather our forces together? I will say Mangwang. Mangwang, that is the lady who delivered those 3 princes, and they know, all of them. Ndu knows, Gomsa knows, and the Witang, the Wiya, and all of that, they know. And they know where the shrine is, and they abandon it. Even the shrine of Ngu, the people who are keeping watch of it, those things unite us. No one ever said that Ngu or Mangwang worship devils. No, they worship the God in heaven. And if they didn't love us that much, they wouldn't have fought and then died, laid down their lives for us. What I mean is that when we draw back inspiration or we look back at them, it helps us to understand that we are one. And there is every reason for us. The other question he asked was in relation to the concept of the Wiya clan. Who is the founder, or is it Ndu or Wiya? Yes, there is Yaku and Yamba, of course. And all of that are Wiya. It's true that Yamba, that is Ndu, the head of the clan, it's true that he had to go around the world before coming back to join his peers. but they actually recognize it, because if Boyard, for instance, or Lo, for instance, if Lo had not left Jivlo to go down to where they settle now, and Boyard, they are not, even Jit, the younger brother, you would realize that they would have resisted him. But there was people were genuine, and they didn't have any concept of fighting for power, that this one wants to be chief or this one wants to be this. No, they were honest to themselves, and they knew that that was their prince. That was the prince who was leading them even as they moved on. So I think that there is more that unites us fundamentally than that which divides us. Because we can say sometimes, when I come up to say that colonialism, many people begin to say that no, we cannot be escaping from our responsibilities to shift the blame to the colonial masters. It's not all about that. It is about how well they organize in order to colonize our mentalities and help us to keep fighting one another, tearing ourselves into pieces so that they can benefit from the crumbs. So I would like to say that all of these debates help us to rediscover ourselves, and then fundamentally, so that even some of the things we waste our time fighting on, even this land, this one, the minister is from where, all of that, if we go back in time, we will discover that this was never the only instruments that used to separate us were religion. First Islam, second Christianity. Because those are some of the things that colonial systems even used also to tear us into pieces. I have nothing against issues of faith. I'm a Christian. In fact, I'm also Ethiopian. But I would like to say that fundamentally, what true religion does is to promote love and the union of people. So we should not always take and look at that which is wrong in any value or in any kind of religion or in any imported or imposed system. We can now use our brains to see, no matter how bad something was, in order to take that thing which was good from it. If we had not had this colonial education, I'm not sure that today we'd be able to be here talking. We have nothing against colonialism. They have taught us a lesson. Someone said that if you should never ever afford to forget any experience, even the most painful. So, yeah. And another said that if any good thing ever sounds easy to you, then there is a part of it you did not understand. So I think we have come a long way, and we should be able to say once bitten, twice shy. If you've bitten twice, you're once a fool, then we should not be beaten all the time. This is a time that we should be able to set aside those things that divide us intentionally, because we are genuine intellectuals, either in our cultural aspect, in our educational, or the other domains of the lives that we are striving to live.
Yeah, thank you so much, I think we are getting into the extra time of our limited time, which was definitely 3 hours. But again, we'll crave your indulgence to probably let us, I'll still get a few questions. Normally, the program is for 3 hours, but sometimes we still have more interesting questions that, make us want to know a little more about a couple of things. I know very soon we still have several other questions coming up, but my own question, because I may do like that and still forget, my own question is that we've had two very great persons present to us a couple certain aspects of the clan systems as a whole. Now, there's been a lot of takeaway from, from what we have learned today. How does this change the situation back home? There's a lot of conflicts, clan conflicts that you and I, we know. Some we have been able to present them here. Some we are not able for one reason or the other. It may be political, it may be social or whatever reasons. But how do we resolve the clan system? Secondly, how does this forum help us to resolve issues like the clan systems? After this presentation, it's been very rich, how does it impact those out there who are the custodians of our villages? How does it impact the politicians that are related to the Mbum land? How do we go forward to resolve this issue? We have spoken about it. Again, I think I tried to get in touch with some of the members of parliament from our area. It's not up to 3-4 days ago, to see if they could be part of us here, because they are also at the center of decision making. How does this forum have that impactation? How does it impact? How do we change after your presentation. Yes, in time for Mindy Manjong or time for Mingenge, in any of them can. I don't know if it's attempting an answer or maybe I'm just throwing it out there. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, it's a pertinent question. I would like to say that being organized into clans is not an issue. It's not a problem in itself. We're bound to be families, but rather we should recognize and understand that as clans, we should be very intentional in being true clans. In other words, understanding that we are children of the same family. Let every name has a true, genuine meaning. Let us endeavor to be alive with the truth and dead with a lie, rather than being alive with a lie and dead with the truth. You see, many of us know all these things. How many chiefs or funds today will attempt to go to the real? Let me tell you an example, like the Mbacheng shrines we're talking about. The first sub-chief in the whole Mbum land was in the 16th century. That's in Gasung of Njifsop, Mbacheng. You know, the shrine was so strong in maintaining that unity. No one could go creating chiefs for himself and doing those funny things. He himself ran away to stay at Tamba, and none of his male children ever survived. And after, he had to go back to stay at Mbacheng. Mbacheng has two other families, quarters. You have the Njinte and Njibra, and you discover that quite often this Njipsong, where those shrines took Witang, and then the shrine of Abiyunge, those are the shrines that normally every Mbum leader who genuinely believes that he's honest should go there. In Ndob, for instance, I also did a historical profile for Ndobo. They have a place called Mema Nge, and you don't also hear anything about their man, the man who delivered, because there's someone who they call Pia Mamika. But in Mbumland, you don't hear anything until after the colonial lands came, that you started hearing a lot about the main leaders. If we are genuine and intentional, these women were not as bad. We shouldn't despise them. The culture we have adopted, it is not discriminating against women. They have something that we can draw inspiration from in order to be better men and better leaders. If truly, we should not despise those shrines. If it is the reason, if we despise them because they are shrines that were made up of women leaders, we should again take a step behind and be able to reflect and then go back to our roots. I think that if we use clans in order to politically tear ourselves into pieces, it is more because of ignorance. So we should educate people to understand that this is who really we are. But that doesn't divide us. It unites us more. Because if you are ignorant of the reason why clans are being propagated, you keep fighting one another, thinking that when they say he's a clan, it means he's your enemy. No, it doesn't necessarily mean so. I can understand the concept of the Ku Klux Klans and all of those, because it was Ku Klux, simply the way it seemed to say that they are family, even if they had a wild attitude, they have a kind of repugnant behavior. But we are the Mbum clans, and I said we are children of Ngu, which means kingdom. Go find out. If you go ask all, even Banso people, they know. These some people that they talk, they say they call us Nsongli. But yet, you know what? They know that we are their uncles. They know that we are ahead of, and then we keep wasting our time not knowing who we are, and we keep kicking ourselves under the bucket. So I think we should take this time and use these opportunities to educate ourselves. Let it be a daily aspect of our lives, that we are one family, and above all, we are the head and not the tail. Probably this will guide our consciences in taking decisions and in being intentional towards supporting one another and supporting ourselves.
Thank you so much. Yaji, go ahead, please.
How do we spread this home?
We have 2 hands up in the chats. Time for me, EK. Did you have a question or a comment, please? Let's keep it short and sweet. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope many people should be hearing me now. I am very thankful to the speakers. They are elaborate, and I have learned just a basketful and overflowing. Yeah. I'm very, very happy that, you know, I'm going out of this place with a lot of things, and I'm going to be probably going behind to learn more, because I just have, you know, I just have the tips of the iceberg here. I'm going after Ngenge very seriously. I will learn about people. I will learn from Dimanjong a lot. So I'm very excited and happy because you've just opened up some ants that will bite me until I get what I want to get. Yes, the clans were used in the past as tools, political tools, or probably economic tools that were used negatively in the past. At some point in Kambe, viewing that past, Wikuda itself, in the presence of many funds, denounced clans and even abolished clans. Now, it was because of that spirit, they actually saw evidence that clans were being used as a negative tool to destroy our unity at that time. So they actually sat and thought that by saying we will denounce clans or ban clans or abolish clans, it was just simple. But like Tamfomin Ngenge actually said, how could you destroy yourself? How could you stop it? There was no way. The way forward became, we can use clans as an appropriate tool, meaning that even the ones that, even if clanism was dated or tainted, we could redeem it and use it for the right purpose to develop ourselves. And I want to agree with Tamfomin Dimanjong when he said, you know, I cannot jump from Lu and pass to Taku to be connected to some development in Du because people are connected to WIA. Interconnected development projects are different from isolated local development projects. So we would try to look at the fact that in Lu, if we're doing like water supply or electricity supply, we will better, you know, amalgamate or connect with neighboring villages in the locality in order that we harness more as people in that very locality. But out of that locality, Lu is connected to WIA clan, where as a bigger group, they can be able to harness more funds, harness more projects for that particular locality in Lu to function properly and develop properly. So the way we use clans, or the way we use clans as a tool, is what matters today. I don't want, you know, I don't want to think of clan having been used as a tool and having been tainted forever. I want to think of clans today as a tool that can be redeemed and used appropriately for better development. In every case, we are all connected under Mbum people, and so we will develop together. But we can be able to use these clans as a tool to even further our development better. That is what we are looking at. Even if we function under Wikuda as clans, we are functioning to strengthen Wikuda so that the projects that are coming up for development at Wikuda will be far more better than just, you know, a little thing, because we are looking at how we can develop from down upward, not from upward down. We're looking at beginning from villages, going into clans and going to the overarching Wikuda, so that all of us can harness the strength together for development. So thank you. If there is anything I will learn from here, it's a kick. Now, if we live here, many of us are usually very quiet in public. The mass media has offered us the strength to declare this thing from our mouth and from our pens. We who are in this forum should not be quiet in speaking out what we are learning. Because what I have learned from Dimanjong, what I have learned from Tamfomin Ngenge, I will not keep quiet. it is time for us now to start to use this medium of exchange, which is mass media and social media, in order to pass this teaching. Our people need to know, and our people need to move on with consciences that are well informed. So thank you. When we leave here, please don't stay quiet. And when we speak, you support it, because we want it to go as we are learning. Thank you so much, and God bless everybody who is here. And I just believe that Canada, you are coming again with another project or with another. Thank you.
I think, if I may interrupt here, because I've got something to do. I think another problem, another thing we want to do, I don't know whether I got through to some of you, is the currents that are going in, the counter currents going along, which we don't seem to really take into consideration. It's a current, it's a very powerful force. And Wikuda pits itself against the political current. Let's remember the political current, which is the party-related current, works almost contrary to the Wikuda current. I'm proud to say we were part of those who created it. We created Wikuda, the very beginning Wikuda. When Fonfo the rest came and joined us, he was in Nigeria, he came and joined us. We put this thing together in Yaoundé. I was part of the group, and I was the advisor, one of the advisors before I left. I left Cameroon and came back here and went back. And now I'm finally back here. So these are the two currents. If we want to get anything done, how do we reconcile the political current that, in other words, who is in power at that time? And what is the relationship with those who are in power, who wield the power up there, who wield the political power, which is the real power? We may not want it, but that's the real power, as opposed to what we are attempting to do. Let me give you a practical example. Our president, I mean, the one we elected was Mr. Shea. He was, this is a very objective forum. He was CBDM, who was SDF. The political power was CBDM. And at different levels, we collaborated to do things. But the Wikuda current, which was SDF inclined, could not work effectively against the CBDM power that was in power. So this is something we need to really address. If we want to be honest on this forum, and we want something to be done back home, this is something let's sit down and create something that we see at what point we can merge this in order to get something. Because so long as we keep on moving at counter current and philosophizing and theorizing, we will always be falling short. That's just an advice. And secondly, if chiefs are the auxiliaries of the government, do we say they're auxiliaries of the party or the auxiliaries of the government? If they're working together with the government, and some of us don't believe in that government, at what point can they therefore succeed in achieving what they're supposed to have as auxiliary of the government, as opposed to their subjects assisting them to gain that? You know, these are big fundamental problems that we have and that have been working against us. Okay, I think I've talked much about it. I think if we want to come back to that, let's give ourselves that assignment, and then we can come back to the drawing table, or we think about it and see exactly what I'm talking about. This current, how do we put them together? It's not the Njebs. I know the Njebs have hurt us a lot. It hurt me too, because I have examples I can give you. But at least we've overcome. We want to overcome that for the sake of the younger ones coming behind us. But how do we do it? How are we going to do it? How can we move forward? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Yes, I think Yaje was saying that there were hands up. I can see Raymond's hands up. Please have the floor with the permission of Yaje. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm Budi Raymond. I'm a student of history and very particularly Mbum history. I'm very gratified by the presentations of the Time for Miss. Thank you very much, and for the organization. Just to comment that our Trinitarian character is something that Christians believe is only true of God. Non-committable, communicable character of God. He does not share his Trinitarian character with anybody. So it's a privilege that we even have this character and not a curse. Secondly, we know as a people that 2 stones cannot make a fireside. It's usually 3. We cook a lot. We cook sha, we cook cocoyams, we cook all kinds of things. And with 2 stones, we cannot. And we are fortunate to have 3 stones already. And instead of building on it to develop, to have all what we need, we complain and use it as division. It's a problem then. Dissolving the clan system is not only impossible, it's also unnecessary. The British tried in 1924 to dissolve it and failed. They could not. And so that is why they were able to do a complete reorganization of the Mbum clan system in 1935, which was able to go right up to the post-Second World War period. And so the clan system is a badge of our identity. And we cannot dissociate who we are from that clan system. If the British used it in 1920s, 1930s, 1940s as an excuse to not develop our land, we can understand that it is because they didn't come to develop the place in the first place. They came to tap from it. And so we cannot in the 21st century be using it also as an excuse to remain stagnant. I think that we can build and make it stronger. So we see the clan system as an opportunity, as you know, a kind of opportunity that is peculiar of the Mbum. Not just that there is their identity, but that not many groups of the Bamenda grassland, not many groups of Cameroon, of even Africa, have this feature. And I think that if we build on that, like we do when we come out of Mbumland, I know that clans is not seriously emphasized when we are up. But then back home, we used it, and clan has dictated our political evolution. It has dictated the pace of our economic development. It has even dictated our socio-cultural interaction to the point where we are what we are today. Just to end, to say that we have, Tam Fomindimanjo remarked very clearly, and it is true, that we've not been having conflicts of inter-clan nature per se. You know, we've had inter-village conflicts. Sometimes villages of the same clan fight with each other. And all of this usually is not because of the question of clan. I think that all the quarrels, all the conflicts and all the fighting that we find back home over land, over ascendancy, over whatever, you know, is unnecessary. If we are able to continue with discussions like this, which will push us to a point where the entire history of Mbumland is reconstructed. Thank you very much.
Johan. Thank you, thank you.
Please unmute, please.
Oh, my apologies. I was saying that the coordinators surely have a couple of questions maybe from the audience. So over to you again, Yaje and Nelson. Thank you.
All right, Brother Nelson, do you have the questions? Where did we end? You want to read the questions?
Yeah, maybe I should read my own question too. I'll take from Peter. Yes. And read my own question too.
Yes.
Now, I had two questions, but I think one of them has been addressed. Now, I was going to find out whether this clan thing exists only in the Mbum land. Do we have this clan thing existing elsewhere? And if it does, do they have similar problems, the kind of problems that we have? If they have them, how are they addressing these issues? That's my question. Hey, I think it goes to any of the time for me who can answer. Thank you.
Well, I'm not too sure I know of clearly any clans that function exactly like ours. But there are some approximations, even though they don't function like ours. I think and that you can claim some contiguous land territory or geographical territory. Yeah, the Bafut people are very related to the Nkwen people, and the Nkwen people are very related to the Mandankwe people, you know. So maybe if they were thinking like us and acting like us, they too could be another 3 in 1. I don't know. they too could be another 3 in 1. But I'm just saying that maybe it's the way we have related to each other, and some of that might have been influenced by our migration. I don't know how their own migration was. Maybe they all came together and they just happened to have moved to different corners of the same place and become the fandom they have become, without thinking very much about saying whether they are clans or one clan or whatever. Yeah, I just have that as some kind of an example of people that could also assert what we have been asserting as clan, but they have not done so to the best of my understanding or knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It just crossed my mind because I searched and I couldn't find any. So maybe.
Yeah, I have a question here.
Okay.
Since you couldn't find any, I have a question, and my question is, it's going to be addressed to. Just give me a second. I think I have one person on the gallery. Yep, I think so. Yeah. So my question is going to be addressed to Down for me Njeba. I see him on point here. He's actually online, except he's connecting. If not, Elias Nkerbu could always answer the question if it's not an embarrassment. As we're going to the end of this session, first and foremost, I think we have to thank the speakers very much, but sometimes we just like to be on board and maybe get a family photo or picture of all those who are online and who've been participating. It helps us also to get one or two things. So if you don't mind, before we close up this conference session, if you can come on, you just put your cameras on, we'll be able to get a family picture for those who would not mind, because definitely it goes on YouTube, it goes on, a couple of, so please, if you're coming on, if you're putting your cameras on, know that we will definitely send this on YouTube. This will be converted and we will send the YouTube out for anyone who would like to continue to watch and maybe get more details from what the participants were saying or whatever. So please come on board so that we can get your pictures, your faces, and for those who are really up to that still. Yep, just waiting for about 30 more seconds. Thank you, guys. Just 30 more seconds. I wanted to see, time for me, EK is gone already, or?
No, just wait. I'm here now.
All right. Yeah, I want to see, I see also time for me, Jeba. I see Pa Elias and Kerbo. I see Auntie Manu Gladys. Can we have you guys on photographs, please? Yeah, I see my dearest Ellen as well. Okay, perfect. All right, so
I see Susie Key. Susie, hey.
Who is that? Anyway, socialization time is coming very soon. So, all right, so definitely we are taking a photograph of those who are available. Just one more second. All right, perfect. So again, my question, which was, thank you guys so much. My question was, which was geared towards Pa Elias, was just to say we are so glad to have him on board as well. And of course, we did have a performance from our daughter. Maybe Susie would like to say one or two things, but this was sponsored by Madame Tani, coming on board with the team. She had musicians and guitarists. Everything that was done was sponsored by Madame Tani Mbiano, who is probably with us as well, or maybe not yet logged in. So, Susie, did you have anything to say before we put a close to this, please?
Thank you so much, Peter. Mechani wimbo mechani wikuda chinyom chimedesia Kevin Siniaki sisi bwana chineji sibota dokuntombi. Personally, I have learned a lot on this forum, and I really appreciate the talks and the education that is coming to us at no cost. Thank you so much for doing the research and just taking time to educate us. This is a great initiative, and I believe that our kids who come after us will never forget where they come from. So very basi. So when it comes to Sunita, I really appreciate what the young woman is doing, and I thank God that she was able to come up to this platform to present. Usually I am one of those who like to do things in the moment without putting anyone on the spot. I'm just saying that if we were actually in a forum and Sunita had to do the demonstration she did within a room, within a physical environment, we would definitely do what they call kani. So if anyone has a kani for the little girl, I think we can all reach out to Yaje. There's a way we can get to this young girl just to encourage her and keep the flames alive and awake. I also really appreciate the coordinators of this program, and I believe that if once in a while we get our people like young kids who are coming up to presentations like this, it also helps to build and strengthen our community and encourage them as well. I am so happy to be part of this global platform because it connects people from different parts of the world, and the kind of minds that rally on this forum are not just people from the wayside. So I believe that as people had said earlier, someone needs to be able to carry the message forward. We need to stand with one another. We need to keep pushing so that we will see a visible change in our own world as well. When we leave Cameroon or Uganda and come and go abroad or wherever we are, we definitely miss out on a lot of things. But when you happen to go back, most people would be like, I cannot live in this your Cameroon, talk less of in this in Cameroon. I think that narrative can change if we all rise as one, use our clan system as a strength, and move forward. So there is CRB. I just pray that God will bring us again together another time. Very.
Great. Thank you so much, Susie. I think that we've come to the end of this other session of our global talk. And again, we do appreciate all who have been chanced and who've made the chance and time, precious time of yours to be part of this discussion and this learning process. We do think that within the next 2 months, we are coming up with another topic. Generally, we have a pool of topics that come from different areas, different persons, and then we just try to see which one we can put on board and see who are the resource persons. Again, if you are a resource person, you think, in a specific field, or you think that you can educate us on a couple of things concerning the Mbum people and culture, it's going to be a great pleasure for us to have you on board anytime soon. But again, it's been thanks to you that we have this forum and we can promote the things that concern us. Once again, I say thank you to Tamfomin Dimanjong. Thank you to Tamfomin Genge. You guys have done a great job and we've learned a lot. Thanks again and again to all participants. And we want to give a hand of applause to the speakers once more as we exit from the program. Once again, in the rendezvous in 2 months' time, that's end of March, we should be having another exciting moment with great people whom you are to school us on several other things. I wouldn't forget the technical crew here. We do have Edwin at the background. We have Ganji Julius. We have great Yajen Gala, who is doing a great job. And then we have Nelson Tawe. I call him, everybody knows him like Tashi, of course. And all of you guys, you've been great, and have a blessed day and a blessed weekend.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.